All right. Let's move over. Let's do edge rusher. This is a great edge rusher class. So let's look at that for a little bit here. There's one guy in particular that I highlighted. We've been talking about trade downs, and I think this is a really good trade down target. Another target for the Cowboys at 24 as well. So, oh, please, God, let me say this right. Arnold Ebiketie. Did I do it? Play the sound.
You got it. You got it.
Did I get it?
I promise you got it.
Oh, thank God. You don't know. You guys do not know how many times I practiced this. What's hilarious is I went to Temple. He played at Temple. I watched him for 2 years before he was even at Penn State and was this big-time prospect. And I still can't say his name right. Thank God I said it there.
You can't say anyone's name right, though, so it's okay.
That's true. I can barely get my name right. I picked him out. I think Jermaine Johnson from Florida State is shooting up draft boards, had a phenomenal Senior Bowl. Don't think he'll be there at 15 or 18 for the Eagles at this point. I keep seeing him mocked all the way in the top 10. So I thought, instead of focusing on him, let's take a look at Ebiketie. Did I do it right?
You did.
Thank God. Let's take a look at him because he's a reasonable prospect, and I think he's a good trade down guy for the Eagles, and I think he could be there at 24 for the Cowboys. Could you do me a favor? Could you run the tape back from the beginning? I want to see if you see the same thing that I do on all of these plays. There's one particular thing. All right. He gets a sack there, forces the fumble against Michigan. That's a great play right there. Crowd's going wild. If only Sean Clifford had an arm and they could have scored on that possession. All right. Here we go against Iowa, coming around the corner, sack. And I'll give you a hint. It's not that every single one of these plays is a sack, even though they are.
No, it's like he's mauling the lineman he's up against.
Oh, yeah. Yes, he is. All right. Let's keep it going. I'll just commentate on all of these, and I'll give at the end, I'll give what all of these plays have in common. So he comes around the corner. You got the big, slow guys from Wisconsin. No match for his speed for Arnold. He's right around bend. He has that great bend. He's that great, fast bend right around the tackle that some GM is going to fall in love with. He can just curve right around. They do a great job with that. All right, against Indiana, that tackle stood no chance. I mean, he didn't even make a move on that play. We just talked about the curve. He didn't even do that. He just flat out blew by the guy. Just too fast. All right. And then right there, inside move. That kind of looked a little bit like Josh Sweat, which people are going to like. Sack against Illinois. So we keep going. Let's stop it here. Let's stop the tape here because it's a field goal if you're watching on YouTube or listening. What did all those plays have in common?
He was on the quarterback in almost no time.
Correct. What I was going for, every single one of those plays was a third down. That is what this guy is. He is an edge rusher who is going to get you a sack on a crucial third down. We just watched a minute and a half of tape, and every single play was him bursting by a tackle on a crucial third down, getting to the quarterback and flattening him. Half the time the ball comes out. Half the time it's a turnover. And if it's not, the team is punting. That's what Arnold Ebiketie is going to bring to one of these teams. He is going to be a difference maker on third downs because there is no tackle that can stay in front of him.
So I kind of tipped my hand on my little note with him, 3rd and 12. Now it's 4th and 1,000,000.
4th and 1,000,000. Punt the ball from your own 20.
He has some of the best pass rush technique in the draft. And there's a lot of good pass rushers in this draft. He's some of the most refined technique. He generated pressure in 2.5 seconds or less on 6% of pass rush snaps.
That's pretty solid. That is like less than 3 seconds to throw the ball. Less than 3 seconds to throw the ball.
I'm not even going to get into the negatives because I don't care. No, he's a very fun guy.
This is a fun tape to watch. This one and Daxton Hill were my two favorites to watch. Jameson Williams obviously was electric, but I'm just thinking like defensively, just impact players, forcing turnovers, making big plays on third downs, things that the Eagles lacked last year. These guys would be difference makers. So I kind of already, like you said, I tipped my hand when we were going through the third down plays, but just the elite athleticism and explosiveness where tackles cannot stay in front of this guy. He's too fast. Kind of like Jason Oweh last year out of Penn State, where he kind of fell because he didn't have the sack numbers, but then he made an impact for the Ravens. This is kind of similar. Just guy who can fly by. Bends around that corner in a hurry. I thought this could be good for the Cowboys as a Randy Gregory replacement, because that's kind of what Randy Gregory was able to do for them is make a lot of third down plays, get to the quarterback in a hurry. He's not going to be a 3-down lineman, so he's like the anti-Jordan Davis, where you got Jordan Davis in on first and second. He creates the 2nd and 12, the 3rd and 12, and then you bring Arnold on the field, and he gets the sack on 3rd and 12 to force the punt. Combine those guys together. All of a sudden, you got a defensive line. I think for the Eagles, if you're pairing Arnold Ebiketie with Josh Sweat, those two bending around the corners, that is going to be something for tackles are going to be looking like turnstiles out there. This would be awesome.
I think the Cowboys would love them. They were like, it worked. Penn State defense worked last year. Let's just try it again.
Yeah, they're like, whoa, elite athleticism out of Penn State. Sign us up. Worked the first time. Different position, but it all counts.
He's another one of those guys, like super high floor. Ceiling might not be the highest of the edge rushers, and that's why he's mocked to go 2nd round. But still not a guy you're upset about whose floor is super high.
Yeah, and he's going to be another guy. He probably has a 2nd round grade, but he's probably another guy that's valued in the 30s. If he goes at 24, the Cowboys fans going to be mad? No, probably not. You're going to just see so much fluctuation on draft night because with only 15 guys getting a first-round draft grade is the report, it's just going to be who you fall in love with, who these GMs really like, who do they value, what positions do they value. You can see things that are determined as a reach that probably aren't really a reach because the difference between the guy who's ranked 16th and the guy who's ranked 32nd is very minimal. And Arnold Ebiketie is going to be that. He could go at 36 or he could go at 24. And it's really not going to be that much of a talent gap between those two guys.
Yeah, we keep talking about this scenario where the Eagles stay at 15, possibly trade up if they have to, but then they trade back from 18, and then they have those 2 picks in like the mid-20s to late 30s. Mm-hmm. And there's just so many options for them in that area that I like all of them.
Draft optionality is everything I'm about, and they're about positional versatility. So it's all about those options there for him. So I think that's a great prospect. I think he's going to know his role, and he's going to play it well when he gets to the league. And he did it really well this past year, just flying off the line past tackles. So that's Arnold Ebiketie. Loved his tape. So that was the edge rusher. And again, Jermaine Johnson, love him. I just don't think we have a chance. That's the only reason why we didn't do it.